Kip cares. Kip always cares.
But if you live in fucking California, we're gonna give you cancer.
Oh God, I'm stuck.
Aspartame.
Phew.
Yeah, aspartame's terrible for you too.
Now, what about stevia?
Stevia's a little bit better. Erythritol's really good for you. Well, not really good for you.
Better.
It's better because it is
Ow!
a more natural sweetener.
Mind your business.
What's going on over there?
We're having talks about sugar, and you're over here just.
Yeah, being the result of
I
sugar.
really enjoyed this.
No, texture back. Oh, I act like I'm tying my shoe with a nutsack hanging out. Does that look good?
Hang on.
Does that look good?
Yep, looks great.
Don't mind my balls. All right, welcome to the Gristled Up Podcast. As always, I'm Cody.
I'm Sean.
You know who I is.
No, they don't.
That's right.
They don't know who any of us are.
No.
We might have some new viewers.
That's true. I'm Caleb. So we decided we're going to start changing things up a little bit.
We're going to take down and crank her up a notch.
I don't know if anybody has heard of the Sprite Challenge.
Thank you.
I found out that a lot less people know of the Sprite Challenge than I thought.
I didn't know about it till you told me what it was.
Yeah, and there was a couple other people that I told that we were considering doing this, and they're like, I don't know what that is. So basically, you got lettuce on my table. I just cleaned this table.
I know, that's why I ate that lettuce.
Yeah, but the skid mark's still there. I don't
It's
care about
McDonald's
you.
lettuce. There's always
Well,
going to be a skid mark.
Eat that lettuce too.
No,
That's going to leave a skid mark on the intestine.
I ain't doing it.
Anyways, so we decided we were going to do this. This is I don't know who came up with this idea, but the point.
Come on, Doodle Bob.
I'm trying to. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so basically you're supposed to try and pound the Sprite without burping. If you get the whole Sprite down, I guess you win. I don't know.
What do we win?
A fucking attaboy.
Can I get a hug from both of you if I win?
I'm not giving you a hug.
I don't
want to play.
All right, I'll give you a
Well,
hug.
all right.
Okay.
Go and give me a hug. Who sings that?
50 Cent?
Fitty. He turned into a dollar bill real quick.
No, I think he's actually still. I mean, the dude had his own fucking video game.
I know he did.
Did you see him at the Super Bowl a couple years ago?
No.
That was like $1.50. I mean, good for him for getting up and moving around, but
That is a cool ad. Can we just...
you just picked up that entire
Pizza Planet.
We talked
Yeah, now
about
you pick it up.
we talked about kipping up. Mom, good job on the cup. Good for you. She made that.
Who chose
Well, that's
Pizza
awesome.
Planet?
I did.
That is cool. That's the first productive thing I've heard you do in a while.
A blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Go on.
Get off of me.
Lay off me, I'm starving.
Jeez. All right. Well,
Getting all hot and
yeah, my
bothered.
fucking,
So what's the rule?
my shirt's snug. So I don't think there's any rules. I think you're just supposed to
You open it.
try and.
I'm a little nervous, so I can't like do half and then save the other half.
No. Granted, I know you're gonna fucking leave that much anyways. So you're. But you're supposed to drink it as fast as you can. We'll put it that way.
I like Sprite if I'm
Yeah,
sick.
you think
but-
your guys' is spicy. Tubby over here got full strength Sprite.
Yeah, but we did eat a. We
Yeah,
put it on a 5 hour.
You were munching on
Not a 5 hour energy. It's
on a
like
5 hour energy gum.
I'm not chugging. I can't chug it.
Oh, it is strong.
It's gonna burn if I chug it. Your eyes are watering.
My mouth hurts. Oh fuck! I gotta do it.
Dude, it's insane. Like, I already got a burp.
I do too.
It's second nature to just let it out.
Sean, I know I tell you this on a daily basis, but
Oh.
you really need to shut up right now.
Oh.
It's like right there. And you want to let it out. Mine's like right here. It's like there's only one safety line, not letting it out.
Poke him in the tummy.
These are great. 0 sugar though.
Oh, this is terrible. I thought it was gonna be a lot easier. I'll get the fucking knot. Shut up.
Stop that! Sean!
Loser!
Thought I had it. But
God damn it!
I thought I had it. And it feels relieving when you let it out.
Oh fuck! It's right there.
I felt shots right up my nose.
Damn it!
Oh, it hurts.
You're tearing.
It is
Cheer it
right down
up.
your cheek, big guy.
Finish it. Come on, big girl.
I'm trying. Oh God! It's like when somebody gags.
You got 2 tears. You got 2. Well, Caleb, you won, so finish it. And let it out.
Oh, that was terrible. Oh, it just came out.
Wow.
I could have done it.
Oh fuck!
This is terrible.
Now imagine chugging it. That would be
There's no way. Yeah.
That was way fucking harder than I thought. But
Oh, God.
trash can behind you.
yeah, I know. I'm gonna end up walking it on my fucking computer over here. Dude, if I'd have done that on my own, I'd have done it a lot better. But you two talking,
I think there's people out there that sit in their garage and they're like, I'm going to try to not burp by myself. Nobody's watching.
Oh, dude, I
sitting
feel
down here
so
crying.
much better. Oh, shoot.
It pisses me off, though. I was 2 drinks away.
Dude, I had an air pocket.
I did, too.
Fucking right there. And he
then-
was like, I burped. And I'm like,
Well, that's what got me. It just unexpectedly.
Well, I was confusing the feelings I was having because I was
too.
like swallow or burp.
I know what you mean.
Because like you know, when you're not under pressure like that, you just burp.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what happened is I just took the drink and then it came out.
Woo! All right. Well, that was interesting.
Yeah, learning curve. I know I can do it.
Oh, yeah.
I just couldn't do it that time.
You guys ever heard of frogging?
You've mentioned it, but I have yet to look it up.
With the fork that you fucking stab frogs with.
That's gigging.
Gigging. What if I like
Frog
why not
gigging.
frogging?
No, frogging is...
been snipe hunting?
Frogging is people breaking into your house and staying in your house without you knowing about it.
Dude.
Oh. Like getting in your attic and
There was actually a guy, I'm not going to say the town, but it was only 20 minutes away from here.
Decatur, Illinois.
No. South.
What a shit
Of us.
fucking place.
But this family had went on vacation down to Florida for like 2 weeks, and this dude broke into their house and was eating all their food and living in their attic because he's homeless. And they caught him there whenever they came home that evening, and they caught him hopping out of the fucking attic window and climbing back down.
The only reason I know about this is I watched
didn't know there was a name, but
Yeah, they call it frogging because you jump from pad to pad.
it makes sense.
Yeah,
But
and they try to, so they'll stay for
It's just pad to pad.
That's what they called it in the movie. Anyways.
You can't say house to house because then it wouldn't be frogging.
Yeah. What would it be? Homeowning?
No, it'd be
Home alone. Macaulay Culkin.
it'd be squatting.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, technically. Anyways, so they stay for a couple days at a time from place to place. In the movie that I watched, they got into the house and they stayed up there, and I mean, there's a huge twist at the end of the movie that
They were
doesn't
actually
pertain,
homeowners living in their own attic.
No,
Oh.
like the people that broke into the house, they had a motive behind it. One of the guy had a motive behind it. The girl was unaware about it, so he started messing with the family, like beating them up randomly, or and like he almost killed the child, and then he did end up killing the dad. But I guess at some point in his life that he had like molested him or something. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's a
Weird
anyways,
movie, but it was good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something that is terrifying to me because it's something you don't ever think about.
Oh yeah.
And like, I mean, my house isn't huge, but I have a little room off the side of the garage.
Mm-hmm.
There's some stuff in it, and then the only way to get up, like to living quarters, is to go up my stairs up to my living quarters, and I mean, you can get in the attic up there, which there might be somebody up there. I doubt it, but
And nowadays it really is a thing to be at least aware of, because we're just getting out of the winter months. Like, my barn is 40 yards away from the house, and there is an insulated room out there that has heating and air. So, who's to say you don't go out there in the middle of December, open up the door, and there's a whole damn family just
no kidding.
chilling. It's like, huh.
And you can't tell them to leave.
No, with today's laws you can't. Like, if they've been there so long, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I've seen where some people are like boarding up the door and just stuff like that. I might be butchering this story, but it wasn't around here. Can't remember what state it happened in. But there was an older man that came home to find out that there was some dude and his wife living in his basement, and he pulled a gun on him, told him to leave, and the squatter, frogger, whatever you want to call him, turned violent. So he shot the guy out of self-defense, and the old man went to prison for like manslaughter because the new laws were that guy could legally live there.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, squatter rights are insane. There's $1 million homes in California where people are doing that, and
You just have to
chill
with it.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But homelessness is on the rise. Nothing's being done about that. And, pretty silly stuff.
Yeah. So along with, I mean, we're changing paces here, but it's something that it kind of scares you a little bit. Like the thought of Yellowstone, or like a massive earthquake, or something along those lines.
A big thing for me is like lost at sea.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
have you guys ever been deep sea fishing or anything?
No, I don't care to be.
Like, it was a blast. I've been twice. The first time was a lot of fun. Second time I got seasick and just kind of laid in the cabin. But when you are 5 miles off the coastline, it's not all that far when you think about it, but all you see is water.
Yeah.
If that ship goes down and you don't know how far you really are out, that is a terrifying thought. And
Yeah, especially you have no idea, like
what direction you're facing.
For somebody that's on vacation, you have no
Right.
clue where you're at at all. So it's like,
You have to survive
you
until
hope you
night.
remember where the boat went, but once you lose sea line, it's like, well,
Well,
we
well-
could have turned right, we could have turned
Right.
left, We could be heading back to shore, and I have no idea.
Well, the locals, they probably know what to do or what the best thing
But
is
us
to
in
do.
the Midwest.
I remember being young. Well, honestly, my opinion about the ocean is stay the hell out of it. Like, there's
I'll
just
go
things
like
that
right around titty deep. But
I was a
even
kid and
then-
got carried away.
Right.
And luckily, the locals, like I said, they're way out farther swimming, and they'll
Yeah,
usually.
we're out there. Yeah. What are you doing, fella?
Me, I got carried away, and you're fighting the waves, and it's just not a good time.
I wouldn't go out there if I were you.
I remember going scuba diving, and it was like, what the hell is that? It just looks like a blur in the water, but it's a clear jellyfish, and it's like,
Yeah, like they show on SpongeBob.
it's like, wow, this is fun. Now I understand why the hotels that are right there on the beach have pools.
Yeah.
Yeah, people want to.
I always wondered that. I'm like, why is there a pool this close to the ocean? And it's like, yep.
Actually, there's
understand
more like, because there for, I'd say about 10 years, every year we would take vacation down to a little area called Fort Morgan, Alabama, which is just outside of Gulf Shores. And if you rented a beach house, 90% of them had pools, either under the house or just right out there. And most of the people that you saw using those had small kids.
Yeah.
Like they'd go down to the beach, let them play in the tide, like
And the tide and the sand.
yeah, but for maybe about an hour, and then they went back up to the pool and kind of sat
Yeah, and
around
I don't
that.
blame them.
No, because that's being a newer parent now. I mean, she's almost 2, but I couldn't imagine if she just fell down in a small little wake and was underwater for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I would probably have a heart
You
attack.
beat the shit out of the ocean.
You're goddamn right I would.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go all fucking Rocky Balboa on it.
Yeah.
Fuck the Gulf.
Whoa.
What?
I'm not a good golfer either, but I ain't
Golf.
saying fuck. Oh.
The Gulf.
Gulf. It's just like them wolf spiders. Is that right, big fella?
Yeah, it's.
Sean's gonna lead his assault on the golf on his wolf spiders.
I've been made fun of that for a long time.
What, the wolf spiders or the Gulf?
Yeah, the wolf spiders. And man, we need to replace the roof.
Oh, the roof. I got you now. I had to hesitate on that
That's the
one.
thing right above the pitchers.
Yeah.
There's a washing machine.
Yeah. Washing machine on a Tuesday in the cushions.
Or pushing it.
Yeah,
The
pooch.
Worcestershire sister sauce.
Worcestershire Cherie sauce.
So, what about you guys? Like, is there just something out there that
I don't like the, I can't remember the name of it, but when stuff has a bunch of holes in it. You know what I'm talking about?
Danielle doesn't like that either.
like a sponge?
If I were to...
Well, that's, basically.
Swiss cheese.
Is it a taste thing or
No.
I'm
it's
glad to
let me
know
show you a
that
picture.
you feel that way too, because like she is always like heebie-jeebies about that, and it just
I'll show you this picture, and it's not real, but
I don't understand.
you'll see whenever.
Can you-
it posts up.
show a picture of it on the...
Yeah, I'll put something up.
Okay.
I'll just ask Danielle. Does this look horrible to you?
Oh.
Just something like that, where
Let me see.
there's tons of holes.
Yeah, Danielle hates that.
That's fake.
Yeah, I mean, it's fake, but it still bothers you, doesn't it?
So more like honeycomb.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a way. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that, the
is
skin is what
That's
bothers
terrible.
me.
Yeah, that fucking. Yeah. Like, I can see shit like
It's
that.
like, what
in
are
a
you
movie,
keeping
but
all
I
them
know it's
pockets?
fake.
You got Tic Tacs in those, or?
Here you go. Oh, this one's spearmint.
Oh, they come with jelly.
Oh, God.
Grody.
This one's gooey.
Nah, I would agree with Open Sea on yours. I've got a couple things though, like Yellowstone. These are two completely different things, which I already talked about the frogging, but Yellowstone is something that you never think about.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually got three. I'm sorry to keep interrupting myself, but anyways, Yellowstone is kind of a terrifying thought because it is a ticking time bomb, and people don't think about it, but that sucker could go at any moment. And granted, it may not affect us directly. It will be
Us?
close.
In America?
No. Well, obviously America.
It
I mean,
would-
like us personally, right here.
No,
The smoke
would be
off
done.
of it would cover the sun.
I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't. Well,
So-
I mean, yes, it would eventually affect us. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and like if it were to go off,
The immediate blast.
the immediate blast would not affect us directly, but
So, morbid question. Yellowstone goes off. Would you rather be directly affected or be where we're at now where
I'd rather
you're
be
looking
directly
realistically
affected.
like 3 to 4 days before a lot of that shit sets in and it's complete darkness. You're
Well, maybe having those extra days to say goodbye to loved ones and stuff, because honestly, like, I feel like our country's too dependent on the
Oh.
stuff that would knock out.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
seen AT&T went down for a day and people were freaking out.
oh yeah.
I mean, it would,
Something like
first responders in the area would be
overstimulated
yeah.
everything.
Electricity in the area would be gone.
I would rather just be done. Like, I would much rather be in
Yeah.
the radius and just hope it was over.
Well, it's
Yeah, I
like
would-
nuclear.
I'd
Like,
probably say
if a
the
nuke
same.
went off, like, you'd rather just be
So-
right there.
Like, for me, Yellowstone don't really bother me just because I know it's
I
like
remember. Go ahead.
anything that, if it was to go off, there's nobody is going to survive. Like, unless you're down
Right.
in Florida, the Midwest is just completely dicked.
Yeah, I mean,
Because not only are you going to have to deal with like the ash and everything else, but something that massive erupts, we're talking it's going to fuck with the fault lines.
Yellowstone's on a fault line. I mean, isn't that?
I would imagine it's close if it's
Yeah,
not.
I mean,
But aren't we on like the second biggest in America?
like where we are?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yes.
So something like that's going to set everything off.
That's the problem. Is I mean, the effects off
One
of it.
way or another.
And I believe what their plan has been with Yellowstone is, if I remember correctly, because I remember learning about
That's
it
how
in
Bill
school.
Gates is going to reset the population.
Yeah. He'll- yeah. But no, I
That's
believe
what I
that
was
they're
gonna
trying to pump it full of water, but you
They
got to
have
be
to,
careful
yeah.
doing it because you could set it off that
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
by just interrupting its.
So it's kind of a.
It's kind of like that uncle you
Conspiracy.
got. You could just say the wrong thing and just.
It's a little bit of a conspiracy, which it may actually be a true thing. I don't know. I've never looked into it, but do you think that it's a government controlled thing?
Sometimes
They put out this information like where you start reading about it and you're like, oh shit, that's really.
You talking Yellowstone in general or just like
Weather.
the tidbits of crazy shit that goes on?
I'm talking Yellowstone. Like, there's other stuff that could go along with it, but like they put out enough information where you're like, holy shit, this thing could go whenever. But at the moment's notice, like, they just got a button that they've been waiting to push, and they just keep putting this
it
information.
takes 4 keys and.
Yeah, and they're like, you know what? It's that time.
Like, I don't see them having the button to set it off, but I definitely think that the government has something, or their hands are at play, I guess.
Well, you ever
As
notice
far
like
as,
natural
like, the-
disasters?
Like the information they release and shit.
Yeah.
Well, natural disasters. It seems like it's always one after the other, and then there's times like now where nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because elections around the... Not
Yeah.
trying to get political,
Yeah.
but
It does seem
wait
to
until
have an effect.
closer to election time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Election time comes around, there's going to be all sorts of crazy stuff. Because what is easier to control and lead? A strong, independent country or a
But,
country
yeah.
in fear?
Yeah, a bunch of people.
If you can scare the hell out of 90% of the population,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, then all you got to do is sound like you have a plan. Oh, this guy's prepared.
Well, another one, and I believe this is what they thought knocked out AT&T, is solar flares.
Oh, they've been talking solar flares for...
Yeah, I mean, all it takes is one good one and can knock out the entire grid.
Like a small solar flare is...
Well, and they say that they're getting
the distance
worse.
between us to the sun, or the moon. Like,
Yeah.
that's a small guy, and it takes astronauts, what, a week to get there?
Yeah. These things that, like the one that knocked out AT&T is from 1987.
Yeah.
It's like, nice to meet you.
Hey, how are you? Space is one that wigs me out, too.
Well, I
Well,
haven't really thought about it much because I've never like the opportunity of me being in space is very slim.
Oh, sure.
But anyways, I'm sorry to cut you off.
I just enjoy space.
Sometimes,
Like just reading about...
sometimes it's hard to see things like, everybody talking about Taylor Swift or being obsessed with Taylor Swift and the Super Bowl. And then it's like, we live on a floating ball in the middle of nothing
Yeah.
that's ever
Supposedly.
expanding.
Yeah, it could be
And
flat.
I'm sitting here worried about what's on Facebook or,
Right.
it's just crazy.
People never look at things the way that you do.
No.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's another person out there that looks at things the way you do, but
So,
I
Just-
will say the way that you look at things really opens my eyes sometimes because I never think about shit like that.
yeah.
Well, I know, but it's also not fun either because
Yeah.
it's, I wish I could just be focused on dumbass Taylor Swift and
Right.
what she's doing.
But the wild thing for me, like, as far as space goes, is you brought up Yellowstone. That's a massive volcano. But knowing Olympus Mons is out there and it's the size of the United States,
What's that?
I don't
that's
know what it is.
like
Super-
the biggest volcano in the solar
Like
system.
in the solar system.
It's on Mars, I think.
I would think like Venus or something, but I don't know
Like,
anything about it.
it's the size of the United States. If it went off, like, we would...
Wow. What a
Yeah.
hole.
Like, there's some scientists that have said if that goes off, like, we could feel shit on Earth.
That
I'm like, that's just fucking insane.
Yeah.
Or the
That's what I
storm
mean,
on
it-
Jupiter that's
it
the
is
size
wild.
of Earth.
It is wild how everything is just perfect enough that we can walk outside and it's a sunny day and we can breathe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you look it up and there's planets that are raining diamonds. It's like, I think I'm going to take my chances on sunny and 75.
Yeah.
So, I dabbled a little bit on that one, which we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
These are two other completely different things. One of them is a dryer fire.
Ooh.
I was just thinking about that the other day. I'm like, or something with your water heater. Like
That's-
because I'm like, God damn, when's the last time the dryer vent's been cleaned out? Is that what you're talking about? Like
Yeah,
dryer your home?
like I
Yeah.
always make sure the lint trap's clean, which I need to do a good deep clean of it in general. But like, blow out the dryer vent, which I mean my dryer, it goes, yeah, exactly. But still, it's a crazy thought. People don't look into that, and there's a lot of people that are just naive. They don't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
And
I had a cousin that lost his house from a dryer fire.
Well, do you,
No, I mean, they lost the house and all the contents.
There's
but
a-
they were all fine.
there's
Right.
a lot of preppers that save the lint because it's such a good fire starter. You
that's
light
what I
it and
use
it's-
to burn my trash.
Yeah, it is.
My brother actually makes fire starter from like old wax and wood chips.
I
He
can
keeps
see
a bunch of that laying around.
Yeah, I use, generally I just use the dryer sheet with lint, but they say if you stuff that into a toilet paper roll, then it's, it burns for quite a while, which it does. But, so anyways, the other thing is totally different, yet again, but going blind is something that scares me to death. Because although you can still live, that's the same way with like going deaf. Like, to me, I mean, obviously there are two different things.
I'd rather go deaf than blind.
I totally agree. Because, like, you can still live life blind or deaf, because people do it all the time, and people are born that way, too.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, to go from doing what we're doing right now to just closing your eyes and not have anything at all.
I'd rather lose my hearing, honestly, than lose my sight.
Yeah.
Something real, like, kind of depressing, but a friend of mine's a lawyer, and he was telling me that one of the people he represented one time, this was after his death, was a quadriplegic. Is that how you say it?
Quadriplegic, yeah.
Couldn't, from my understanding, he couldn't see, couldn't move. Like, the only thing he could move was his fingers. So they spent all this money. They got him this chair where he could move around. First day on his own, drove it out and drove it into the lake.
Oh, holy
I mean, like,
shit.
not to take it down, but
That's rough, yeah.
It would be rough. Like, it's one of those we take it for granted.
Understandable.
Like, that is a fear of mine. Like,
Yeah, that would be nuts.
first day.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I didn't mean to take it too deep, but
yeah,
I feel like that's something big because it's like, we take advantage or we take it for granted. Being able to see.
well, I take it for granted
Again,
being able
it's-
to breathe
people are
with
like-
a clear nostril on days.
I can't smell. And I
And then you get the flu, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
What
clear
I
up
get
and
to
you're like,
smell.
oh my gosh. Like, I need to really be grateful. And then, like, 3 days later, you're just minding your own business and your nose clogs up again. You're like, why did I take it for granted? I miss it so. I should have smelled that nasty fart.
should have held it like a bong hit.
Yeah, that's. I just can't imagine that. I had a teacher once. It was I think we were in a woods. It was a woods and drafting class, and he made a comment like he would always come in there and like anybody that didn't have their safety glasses on, he'd scream at them, and then one day he'd come in there and it was the same kid over and over and over that wasn't wearing his glasses, and he come up to him and he made a reference about looking at women, and he's like, let me put my hand over your face, close your eyes at the same time. And he's like, you like looking at women? He's like, well, yeah. And he's like, okay, keep your eyes closed, I'm gonna move my hand. And he moves his hand and he's like, can you see anything at all yet? No. Then put your goddamn glasses on.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just kind of funny because it's like, yeah,
No, you only got one. I mean, there is no
yeah.
getting
There's
new
no
eyeballs.
replacement.
I mean, that is your eyeball is a crazy ass thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
When it takes more pressure to crush a grape than it does a eyeball, that lets you know how delicate those bad boys are.
Yeah.
So one other thing that I had thought of was because what's it been, about a year ago now? Right around?
In a month, it'll be exactly a year.
Okay. Was a tornado.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you realize how fucking helpless you are in a situation like that. Like, the amount of damage that and destruction that can be done, and you're hiding in a closet and hoping that's good enough. That
No
is just
kidding.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it really scared me. Like, so whenever I was little, I used to be terrified of storms. And as I've gotten older, I've I hate to say it, but I kind of look at life as like, not that I want to go anytime soon, but,
Right.
If that's the way it was meant to be, that's how it's meant to
Right.
be. But, if I can avoid it at all costs. So, everybody always has that mentality around here of like, we've got the refinery here in town. Everybody's always got that mindset like, big storms never hit here. We have a good thunderstorm, but it's like Marathon always blocks it. So I fell under this mentality for the longest
refinery.
time. Yeah. What did I say?
I think it's on. I think it's all.
Is it okay, or should I?
Well, the viewers probably don't. They probably think you mean the gas station.
Oh, that's fair. Anyways, I fell under this mentality of the refinery being here. And I'm like, it'll be all right.
It's not happened in 20, 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. So we noticed like shit was starting to pick up around here, and it was starting to get a little rough. And we got the notifications on our phone, and then we started trying to watch the live news broadcast of the weather, and they said, like Crawford County needs to take cover now, and
which they say every year, like
it's happened often.
Yeah,
and it said where I live at was going to be hit within like a minute of where we were at. It's like not that I want to just avoid it, but it's like if it's going to hit, it's going to be hitting right now.
Yeah.
So we were just like, just blew it off. Not long after that, we lost power, and it's like, that was a heavy storm that moved through. So my mom sent me a message and said that my cousin's house had been hit pretty hard, and that he had a window or two blow out and had a tree down. Come to find out that it actually was the touchdown, and I can't say he didn't lose his house, because now they're going through a process of their house is being taken down and shit, and they have to start fresh because of it. But anyways, it really opens your eyes.
Yeah.
It's like, you need to take it serious, and it's just a crazy thought, because like you're saying, you're hoping that wherever you're at is safe. And to me, what scares me the most, not only the storm, but wherever I go, I hope I'm able to get back out of that.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not trapped in there. And for my cousin, they got the warning, and he got both of the kids that were awake or were right beside them, whatever the situation was, put them in the closet in their bedroom, which was about the safest spot. And he ran upstairs and got his oldest daughter, brought her downstairs, and the first wave of the storm come through, and it started to lighten up, which I think was probably the center, I'm guessing. So they tried to make a run to their basement, and at that time they ran out and windows started blowing out. So they went back, and they woke up the next morning, and he was, they went down and stayed at a friend's house, and they come back the next morning and seen all the damage and stuff, and they went upstairs to where his oldest daughter's room was, and the whole ceiling had blown down, and the insulation was all over the room, all drywall. It was crazy, but
I remember getting some of the pictures. Because you went out there to help clean up and stuff. Yeah, that was just insanity.
Just in the instance that he thought, like, obviously I'm going to go get her, but, if they had the same mentality as us, which I'm not saying, I feel like things happen for a reason, and like I have gut feelings and stuff about things, so I feel like, it's possible he had like a gut feeling like this isn't a joke, and I'm gonna go take care of this now, like I need to. But on the same token, I was just like, Right.
Well, that's the way we always are.
Yeah.
I mean, when the tones went off, I was in the shower, and I get out, and I don't know, being down in Oklahoma and stuff, like, those storms happen all the time.
Yeah.
Down there, they treat them just like every other day, but
which is
I remember
wild to me.
Yeah,
They build everything out of styrofoam.
everybody's got storm shelters, now, so if it
Right.
goes bad, they go out to the storm shelter. But I get out and I go to warn my brothers, and at the time my roommate, that hey, we probably need to take this a little bit more serious, and they're out in the garage with the garage door open, watching the rain, and I'm like,
it's really coming down out here.
yeah. The thing with tornadoes is it can happen within minutes.
Oh, yeah.
They drop down, and then
Well, and I wasn't concerned about it because, I mean, I was complacent about the whole situation. I mean, I'm 32 and I've seen severe thunderstorms, but it's like, it's just, people are freaking out over nothing. But I'm actually in another group chat, and one of the individuals there doesn't get worked up about anything. And when he sent a message saying, you guys need to start taking this fucking serious, I'm like, this isn't good.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't going to be good at all. And so I grab our daughter, we're sitting in a closet, and it was very unnerving knowing that 500-600 yards away is where it touched down, and I could feel my house swaying while, I mean, I'm just sitting in a damn closet holding the 1-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, I hope we make it, little guy.
That's my brother, which, you know, I know there was a ton of people that lost their houses, and it's very unfortunate. Yeah, my brother, his property line is literally where it ran.
Yeah.
And what amazes me is how crazy storms are. Like, I mean, he may have had a limb or two down, but you know, you didn't know that literally on the other side of the fence, the house next to it was gone.
Well,
you know?
there's actually an individual we work with that he had no idea. He watched it go through his yard.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
He was just looking out the windows trying to see his parents' house, and he couldn't see it. It's like, what the fuck? Like, he just thought maybe, well, they lost power like we did. Sun comes up, and you could see the trail through, like, 75 to 100 yards away. It's like, oh, goddamn.
I always knew the refinery thing was a joke.
Oh, yeah.
Well, oh, yeah.
I mean,
it's
again, down south, they're full of refineries and stuff.
right,
and,
right.
like, I don't know. I just thought it was...
But to change the pace on this, where it was an eye-opening situation, like, it made people realize, start taking this a little bit more serious. We just had the thunderstorm that we had, what?
I didn't even
Monday
know
or
it came through.
Tuesday.
I didn't... Yeah, I was insulted.
And they're canceling schools. People are freaking out. It's like, calm down.
Yes.
Not
Your
every
self-awareness is good. Yes.
But not every thunderstorm is going to be the end of the world.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to be probably for at least the next, at least this spring.
I mean,
And I get it.
Like, good that the self-awareness is brought back.
Sure.
Because Marathon ain't, or the refinery ain't saving the day.
Sure.
That
But
tornado
whenever-
come up to the fence, kissed it as a fuck you, you know, and
That's
Went on the back 40, it ripped the fence out.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
it wouldn't
what's
take
crazy.
much.
My cousin lives, I mean, within a good, mountaintop throw of a baseball from the refinery, and we weren't trying to go out and gawk that night. I know there was a bunch of people that did, but whenever I heard, the power was out, I was trying to get away to notify work that I was not going to be there the next day because I had family that needed help.
Yeah.
So my internet was out. I had to go to town. Was the only way to get internet. So I'm like, well, we'll go the back way. So we cut down a back road, and instantly we come up, and there's a house that's laid across the road, and it's like, well, I'm not going that way. So turn around. My next guess was we'll cut through town and we'll go south, just south of the refinery. We made it about halfway, and there was 2 cones in the road, and you could tell somebody had scooched them out. And
About in this area.
oh fuck!
Sorry, buddy.
mountaintop.
Didn't mean to pop you in the nose. You alright?
Yeah.
You can kiss it.
I'm fine.
I'll suck on
I
it.
don't see any blood yet.
No, it just hurts.
Oh boy, there it
You want me
is.
to kiss it?
No,
I will.
no.
I'll put my tongue in your
Huh?
nostril. Well, he rubs you.
Dang.
What's that say?
Fumph.
House of Power, 1973, bub.
Fumph.
FMF.
That's what I said, FUMF.
Best pipe company ever.
Are you going to run FMF?
No, per circuit.
I knew it.
I had FMF. Anyway.
Yeah, you
back
had
to-
one. You don't run it, but yet you're
We're a good
broadcasting
brand.
it. Anyways, so so we cut down that road. And there's cones split. Looks like somebody had moved them, and we go through them. I'm sitting there driving, and then like I realized I kind of ran over something. I slowed down for a minute. I'm like, what was that? And then I start looking up, and I see there's power lines laid over, and I was like, huh. Roll down the window and look back. I'm like, we just ran over a power line. And I look down further, and there's just power line, fence all laid down. I'm like, oh.
Poor power line.
Yeah.
We should probably turn around now.
So, turn around.
Let's get out of the car.
Yeah. We go down to Gordon Junction, and we get to there, and there's state trucks blocking it off to go down Route 1. And then we had heard at that point that the college had been wiped out, and then there was that large 2-story farmhouse that got wiped out too. And
Airport.
yeah,
Airport.
after that we found out the airport was down because we turned around at Gordon Junction and went back down to the airport road and just sat there for 15 minutes of a state truck just sitting there.
A state
And
truck, what do you mean? Like
It was the highway.
oh.
It's
What's crazy is all them guys were at, like,
oh yeah,
Ameren
the
was
county
probably
guys
out,
and
Oh, man.
yeah.
I couldn't imagine the
Thank
hours
you
that,
to
like,
all the first responders and everything.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
a friend
I couldn't
of mine
imagine
was
the
saying
hours
that
they put in.
a friend of mine
yeah.
was saying that she was riding in the fire truck, and some guy basically wouldn't move out of the way, drove them off into the ditch. So then they had to have some truck pull this fire truck out of the. I mean, it's like people.
Well, and that's the same individual that sent out that message saying, you guys really need to start taking this serious. I worked with him the next morning after he had been out all night long because he's a volunteer first responder. And, like, I'd sent out an email saying, hey, I'm going to be late. I haven't heard from my parents. I haven't heard from my brother.
Right.
I've got stuff I need to check on. If all's good, I'll be in at work whenever I can get there. Which, of course, they understood. And when I got there, before I went into work, I stopped by one of the gas stations and they were handing out coffee and donuts. I grabbed a couple of those and a coffee because I knew that guy was going to be there that day. And hell, just like giving him the coffee and donut, for somebody that don't show any emotion typically, the amount of appreciation over just small acts of that,
Yeah.
it goes a long ways. Because I don't think they got enough recognition for everything that,
No.
and not just them, but anybody that does it.
Yeah. And I mean, we were having people from towns and cities away
Yeah,
that came down to help.
hours.
Well, you remember
And
when
we didn't even have it as bad.
You remember
That's
when
the wild
Joplin,
thing.
Yeah.
Joplin, Missouri got hit with that bad one?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the amount of destruction that it did for our town.
Well, Sullivan
shit,
was- yeah.
right. And
Sullivan
Sullivan
was
got
bad.
it 5 times worse. It's like, holy crap.
You know, to reiterate there, thank you to all the first responders
I was gonna throw that out there.
that are
Here, there,
in
and
harm's way at all times. Not only during natural disasters, but just in general.
Yeah.
Didn't necessarily plan on going this route, but you guys don't get the recognition you deserve most times.
So
So
you get the recognition in the worst case scenario.
yeah,
free coffee at McDonald's ain't enough. You know?
No, it's not.
Yeah,
While again, it's a nice gesture.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
yeah.
It's stuff that they should get anyways, and more.
And they need better funding.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
As always, this has been the Gristled Up Podcast.
Yes, it has.
I'm Cody.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Caleb.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching, and thank you to the Woods Bar and Event Center for sponsoring us.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy.
At this point, we should have our first giveaway finished up, correct?
Yeah. Yep. At this point, we will be wrapped up with our first giveaway.